Hey horror fans, once again it's the Horror Mizamani GM, and right now I'm going to do my recap of Sunday night's episode of The Strain. Alright, first of all, I apologize for this being late. I had some problems last night getting this video up, so I had to re-record it. That's why I'm doing it right now. So this is it right now. Sunday night's episode of The Strain, which was really technically called Tainted Love, because guess what? The brat, Zach, he's back. Yeah, Zach is back this time, and he's really pining love for Abby. And he really tries to go on his way to make a date for Abby. He talks to the master, and the master tries to teach him how to put his thing down. So he sits in his little, guess you can say, castle that the master has for him. He's all dressed up and ready for Abby to appear, but she doesn't show. Doesn't show at all. He gets worried, so he goes looking for her, and he finds her in this nice little house that they all live in, where he's feeding the plums that he gave to her. And unfortunately, she's got a boyfriend, because he sees her kissing him all on his lap, and poor Zach. Oh. Unfortunately, this does not bode well for Abby, because Zach's pissed off, because he's a brat. That's why I call him the brat. Zach. Well, we all know what I'm talking about. So when Abby comes back, she notices his change, and he's not happy at all. He confronts her, and of course he tells him, hey, look, hey, I got a boyfriend, but, I like you, but, you're just a kid. This does not make Zach happy at all, and unfortunately we know this is going to lead to his little pet feeler comes out, and unfortunately, despite her pleas, the feeler attacks and turns her. And then we see his mother, which is actually the master, as we all know, telling him, it's like, hey, look, I told you before, you don't need her. You don't need her. This is the problem with all humans. You don't need to deal with the pain and the disappointment humans will give you. Now that she's one of us, now she's with the master, she'll never betray you again. So she comes back, unfortunately, now to turn Abby. And I don't know if Zach's happy or not, but that's basically the story with Zach. And I know, I call him the brat because he's one of the most poorly developed and one of the most annoying children characters I ever seen on television before. Now, I really can't blame the actor. This is the second actor that's playing this character, but they really have not done a good job with this kid. Now, I don't know if it's the writing or I don't know how he's portrayed in the books that the series is based upon, but he's just been a brat all this time. Either he's not whining because of the loss of his mother, or he's complaining about this, and he of course causes the nuclear disaster that changed the world, and he's just a brat. But that's basically what happened with Zach. We have no Ep, and we have no Dutch or Sartaki in this episode, but we do have our two boys, Fett and Quinlan. Fett and Quinlan are right now trying to get a plane so they can take the Pike over to New York. Their guy Ronald tells them they can go to this Air Force field and get a plane so they can travel back to New York. Quinlan then tells Fett, hey, look, you need to tell Charlotte not to come because she's done her part. And we get another one of these flashbacks where Quinlan is now going back to his family. I think it's Louisa, and her daughter, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and her daughter. Now he's been there for a while now, and he seems to be enjoying himself. And unfortunately, while they're going out on the night of the town, they run into Stump Shigorli, and he attacks them. And one of the Shigorli realizes that he recognized him, and he calls him by his real name, Invictus. I think this is his right name. And the master finds out that his son is there. Scared and petrified, he decides he wants to confront the master, and that's what he does. He confronts him. They have a nice brutal fight. Unfortunately, he impales whatchamacallit, and he fears for his family, and of course the master goes and attacks him, and the next thing you know, by the time that Quinlan gets there, they've been turned, and they're both turning into Sugoi. And Quinlan does the best thing he does and relieves them of the misery and kills them and destroys them both. And that was a very sad part for Quinlan. And you can see why Quinlan doesn't want Fett to take Charlotte on, because he doesn't want Fett to go what he went through. But they eventually get to the airport and make the trade, and of course Icor's is on their trail, having killed two of the former members in the earlier part of the show and chasing them. The guy that they traded with stops I-Course from getting close to the train. I-Course kills him and tries to shoot at the plane, but Charlotte stays behind and shoots Quinlan, preventing allowing the plane to get away. Charlotte decided not to go with Quinlan because eventually she said, hey, look, I'm not going back to New York. You said it's a suicide mission. Why don't you come back to my cabin back in Montana? We can stay there and hide forever. But Fett says, no, I got to do this. And great job of Fett. I know he's very disappointed. He wanted to stay with her, but, you know, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. He's got to save the world. And that was a very interesting part of the show. I like Fett and Quinlan. They are really good together. I like one of the lines when he actually gave a compliment, and Quinlan tells him, well, I give a compliment every 100 years or so. I laughed my ass off. That was a very good line. Overall, this was I guess it was a good episode. It's kind of been a lackluster final season so far. Been a couple good shows, but seems like they're kind of dragging everything along. I'm pretty sure that, you know, this was episode 5. They only have 6 or 5. Only got like a few episodes left, so I'm pretty sure hopefully these next episodes will get everything going to where we get to a final conclusion here. But it's been a kind of a lackluster season finale here. This is okay episode. You know, again, it was dominated by Zach, and you know, we all know how we all feel about Zach. But I do like Quinlan and Fett. They really are good together. So that was good enough for me. So what do you think about this episode? Are we tired of seeing Zach the brat? No, will he ever decide to finally do something on his own, or will he continue to mope and pope because of the loss of his mother? What's going to happen with Ep and his partner, and what's going to happen with Dutch and Strategian? Will the gang get back together and finally destroy the Master? Well, I guess we'll find out in the later episodes. Well, that's my recap for The Strain, Tainted Love. If you like this video, please press that thumbs up and also hit that subscriber button as well. All my social media links will also be in the description below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G, and always remember that horror rules.